Hello, learners. Welcome back to the course on AI in Human Resource Management. As part of the last module, as I've already mentioned, I'm trying to give you maximum exposure to what is happening with respect to some of the real-time tools and softwares that are used in industry, that are used in mainly in the HRM domain. So I have designed a part two for the lecture on adopting AI in managing company culture, where we'll be looking into different possibilities, different tools, different softwares that are existing and are being quite relevant in the domain of human resource management today. Tomorrow things might change, it might evolve, there's no doubt about it. But let's look into what is happening today with a focus for tomorrow. I'm Dr. Abraham Sirlaisek. I'm an assistant professor at the School of Business, Indian Institute of Technology, Guwahati. Now, in the previous lecture, we have categorically emphasized on adopting AI in company culture, how it has been a enhancer or a facilitator in terms of easing the work or maybe increasing the effectiveness of the work. So today we'll look into some of such tools or some of such softwares or programs or platforms which actually enable and facilitate the work in a more streamlined and standardized way. Again, the word of caution would be you can go and explore, because there are some free versions. We have essentially looked into the usability from the domain itself. So when we are discussing with respect to this particular medium, we have our own restrictions, especially with respect to it not being a real-time dissemination of knowledge. But that said, I'll try to bring out the maximum possibility of knowledge transfer, especially with a lot of screenshots and how we can navigate from one equation or one form to another, or maybe one platform to another. So let's look into that in detail. Let's start with PandaDoc. Now, PandaDoc is a cloud-based document management platform designed to simplify and streamline the creation, the sharing, and approval of business documents. Now, this has been a game changer in quite many organizations, specifically, if you ask me. And there are this AI integration that is happening with respect to this particular tool, where you can get things done in a real-time fashion without any actually hiccup. So let's look into that in greater detail. Let's understand what is running in the background, how it is becoming a game changer altogether. When you are looking into, let's say, the purpose of PandaDoc, as I mentioned, it's a cloud-based document. Now, PandaDoc is especially valuable for businesses aiming to reduce the administrative workload, improve the collaboration, and enhance the overall productivity. Now, this should be, or this must be, the actual aim for any good organization, any organization worth its salt. Now, when you talk about PandaDoc, we have to understand that there are certain critical purposes which this particular platform serves. And one is being an efficient document creator. Efficient document creation means it offers customizable templates for contracts, for proposals, and even quotes. So basically, it's an integration of all these aspects, whatever you want. That's why whenever I'm trying to introduce you to a new tool or a software or a platform for that matter, I generally say that, please stick into what you actually require. Maybe let's say you are more keen on document creation specific to, let's say, you want some contracts being made or drafted, proposals to be drafted, or some quotations to be obtained. You have to essentially look into such options. Now, it enables users to create professional documents quickly, reducing the manual effort, if you ask me. So that is the basic purpose of PandaDoc. It also gives a streamlined approval process. Please note, ladies and gentlemen, it automates the workflow for document approvals, saving time and eliminating the bottlenecks. So, in effect, it supports the real-time tracking of document statuses so that the stakeholders stay informed. They are always aware of what is happening specifically. Another significant purpose of PandaDoc could be seamless e-signature integration. Now, we are quite familiar with e-signature, because especially it has taken much of a front seat after the pandemic, if I can say like that. People tend to acknowledge and appreciate now the relevance and the importance, and moreover the ease of e-signature. Rather than having a physical signature, e-signature serves the purpose. It provides legally binding e-signatures directly within the platform, and this is the beauty of PandaDoc in case of e-signatures. It eliminates the need for third-party signing tools, ensuring faster deal closures, faster integration, faster decision making. So all these things, the speed has been tremendously increased because of this technology integration. It also has a collaboration angle across the teams. Now, when you are looking into PandaDoc, it facilitates document sharing, document commenting, enabling feedback from multiple departments. Gone are those days where you actually work on a document, you send it to a different section, they download it, they work on it, and then they upload it and send it to a different section. So gone are those days. We are looking into real time working on the same document across teams, across platforms, across functional departments. So this collaboration is essentially facilitated by PandaDoc. There is no denying the fact. It promotes also transparency, and if you ask me, it improves the cross-functional communication also to a great extent because of this collaboration. Now, it also has a certain analytics and insights element. When you look into PandaDoc, it tracks engagement with documents, such as how long recipients view specific sections. So that gives a pretty good information on the reach and the reachability and the usability and the effectiveness of that particular document. So in effect, it helps businesses refine their documentation strategies for better client interactions, if you ask me. So when you ask me what is PandaDoc, I will definitely conclude like this. PandaDoc is especially valuable for businesses aiming to reduce administrative workload. It typically improves collaboration, as what we have seen just now, and no doubt it enhances the overall productivity. Now, its intuitive interface and powerful automation features make it a go-to solution. So we have, specific to the PandaDoc, we have certain requirements and we have certain aspects which can be obtained, and we will walk you through. Specifically, in the next few minutes, I'll try to walk you through the demonstration of PandaDoc, and that will give you a seamless understanding about what it is all about. Let's look into that. Now, when you open PandaDoc, you get a dashboard like this, where you have the documents, the number, what all documents are sent, what are completed, viewed. You get a clear idea of expired, waiting for payment, paid, a detailed understanding of all the documents that you are handling within that purview. Now, when you look into such a particular dashboard, what you can do is, let's go to the template and select a desired template for a business document. So this itself starts giving lot of options. You can look into what is your requirement. Let's say, what are you as an organization or as an entity? You are interested in healthcare, invoices, legal, manufacturing, marketing, a whole lot of options that is available real time. As having selected that, you can definitely have a proposal template, website development proposal, catering service proposal, whatever are integrated into it. You have a host of such templates. You can go to the template and select a desired template for the business document. Once you have done that, if you look into the next phase, you see that you can add roles as per the requirement. So here you can specifically go for what is typical to the individual, or who are the individuals, who are the entities who need to actually review this. So you can definitely have a selection point with respect to that. You also tend to see that there are some forwarding options, signature forwarding. So all these check-ins can actually simplify your work, and it can also be a routine work. Let's say some mundane activities like, some of the aspects like signature and all those things, there are chances that these are forgotten. So checking that here itself will ensure that there is consistency across the documents. Now when you go to the next aspect, you can navigate to the required field and add the required details. Let's say you want to give the input of the client first name or last name, whatever is the input, you can have a detailed configuration with respect to who prepared the document. So all these possibilities are available here. We move further, we see that we have options to navigate to content section at the right corner and add specifically fields such as, the pricing, the date, the signature, etc. So here we are specifically looking into the pricing overview. You have all sorts of possible filters that you can actually apply to. You can add, insert lot of different components which will actually be required in the document. So the content can be, in terms of text, image, video, table, whatever is the requirement. Based on that, you can actually fill the particular document with. Then if you further navigate, you will see the pricing overview. Let's say you have selected a certain price level, so based on that would be the final price that would be calculated here or tabulated there. So this could also be a facilitator, when you are looking into the pricing especially. And let's say you are looking into the options like, the acknowledgement part. Let's say you are giving in an agreement sort of thing. So who is the signer, who is the person who is giving access, who is the person who is giving acceptance to that or agreeing to that. All these parameters can be judged here itself and can be input or can be given here. Now let's look into the next platform where we navigate to content section again, and all these aspects of client details, whatever is there with respect to the billing details, the signature, all this can be provided and it becomes a totally enriched document in a way that you wanted. Now once you navigate further, the required fields are filled. The document should be assigned for the clients to be filled. So who is assigned in this particular status or this particular situation, that becomes relevant, so you can pick from that. Once you navigate further, you will understand that once the client fills, whoever we have picked, him or her fills the form, they send it via email or link. So again, the beauty of this is that everything is integrated. You can always send via email, via link, sign in person. So all these things are already integrated. In just a click's time, you can send it everything. You don't need to again log into your mail or make this as a practice again. It is not a double work. You can all have an integrated platform here from directly. You can shoot a mail from here. So then you will see that we talk about the recipient analytics. It can be found at the right corner if you ask me. Let's say who viewed it, at what point in time, the timestamp becomes critical. You have a listing of who all viewed, whether action is taken, whether there is a lot of inaction that's happening, or somebody, the document is still pending at some particular table. All these aspects can be clearly vetted out here. We also see that, whatever details with respect to viewed, total time spent, this talks volume, right? Maybe he or she is not interested in forwarding, or he or she is quite interested. So with respect to the total time spent, you can make conclusions. You will also have a total analytics picture also. So this will actually enable that the person who is signing, let's say in this particular case, Mr. Tyler, he will be actually accepted by the customer. He has put a signature, the date of acceptance, and all these particular aspects are clearly covered here. Now once you move further, you have the document which is completed. It will be available as PDF. You see how seamless the integration is. No need to again download it, or let's say change the format or anything. And this is how this has become such a noteworthy document maker. So in case of multiple approval for the document within the organization, that could be tricky, but before sending it to clients, the following steps can be followed. Let's quickly look into that. We go to the first step, which is we go to the navigation bar of the particular PandaDoc format or of the PandaDoc dashboard. We go to these three dots. From there, we can pick the workflow. So if you go to the workflow, you will see that there are possibilities with respect to the approval. So you can actually check in that, and with respect to that tab being checked in, you can have members to approve, which can be added, and also they can be arranged in order to approve. So basically you tend to finish off a function where you can assign people, approvers, group managers, whoever is supposedly a person to be approving the particular document. They can be given based upon the approval order that you can set. So a lot of such flexibility, lot of such ease of doing things have been embedded into this particular platform. We see further that the document approval conditions can also be added, and let's say a particular aspect can be created as a categorization or as a condition. Then it needs to go to a particular person, or maybe some categorization acts as a filter to go to a particular person. So all these aspects typically creates a lot of standardization and streamlining within the process. Now further, any doubts or clarifications can be asked seamlessly using the comment option in real time. So let's say, as I mentioned, gone are those days where people are working in different platforms. One is completing a document, downloading it, sending it, uploading it, and sending it. Again, the same process, the iteration happens with respect to, let's say, 5 functional managers are working on it, 5 collaborators are working on it. Gone are those days. So basically you have a real-time option to actually give the comment. So things have got streamlined. Like when you are looking into situations where, let's say, somebody is working on a critical document, and it is certainly teamwork, but because of the lack of integration, you are working on it, some work is done, you send it to another person, maybe for an approval or maybe for a updated modification. He or she does that, again sends back. So this back and forth game happens many a time, and this effectively eats on to your productive time. So things like PandaDoc, the platforms like these which have a AI integration module, they are actually facilitating the work. They are easing out the work. Things can be done in a more prudent and pragmatic fashion without wasting time. And that's the interesting point specifically. If you look into this particular document, it's being edited in real time. You can add on the comments. It's not like the comments are added, then it is sent to some person. It takes another couple of days to make a decision there. Then it travels to another desk. So this is not what we are looking into. The things in the HRM domain, especially with respect to the document management, especially with respect to the management of the entire files, things are changing, things are becoming fast-paced. So this is what I wanted to give you an insight. Let's continue with what we were discussing in terms of the PandaDoc demo specifically. So you have options here with respect to the different comments that you can input in real time. We also see that, there can be counter comments that are coming in, which gives a clarification of what you are specifically doing. So basically, any doubts, any clarifications can be asked seamlessly using comment option in real time. This is the beauty of PandaDoc, and I hope that this small demonstration has elaborated on that. Now, moving further to yet another important and interesting platform, which is Headspace app. Headspace app and AI is also interesting because it's a leading mental health platform that offers a comprehensive suite of tools designed to support employee well-being within organizations. So if you ask me what they offer guided meditations, they offer mindfulness exercises. We had a detailed discussion about mindfulness in our organizational behavior course, and which is also being run parallelly to this. There are things with respect to sleep support, there are things with respect to focus tools and movement content, all accessible through their user-friendly app. So when you are looking into Headspace app specifically, it has a certain element to enhance personalized support. And for that, Headspace has introduced Ebb, an empathetic AI companion designed to help users navigate the life's challenges. So, in short, Headspace is a leading mental health platform that offers a comprehensive suite of tools designed to support employee well-being within organizations. So, right from meditations, mindful exercises, the movement content, sleep support, focus tools, all these things are added into that. So, in addition to this resources, if you ask me, Headspace provides a 24/7 on demand mental health coaching, timely access to therapy and psychiatry services, and work life services, ensuring that employees receive the right care at the right time. Now, this is also critical, especially with respect to the Headspace introducing something called as Ebb, an empathetic AI companion, which we just discussed about. So, Ebb engages in conversations to explore emotions, it offers personalized recommendations, and is available anytime within the Headspace app, if you ask me. So, by integrating these resources, Headspace typically aims to create a supportive ecosystem that promotes the self care, that promotes overall mental well being, it reduces stress. So, this is what Headspace is all about. Organizations typically partnering with Headspace have categorically reported improvement in workplace culture, in employee satisfaction, etc. So, when you are looking into implementing Headspace AI driven mental health solutions, it can lead to a more resilient and productive workforce, fostering a healthier work environment to all. Now, having understood that, as we did in case of the Panda Doc, let's quickly move to a demo of Headspace app. Again, I urge you to go and explore this. If it is suitable for you, you can go ahead and take a version of this with you. Now, when you are looking into Headspace particularly, the dashboard again looks something like this. You open the Headspace app and you can notice this particular interface. So let's look into this. You have, click on today, which is at the bottom of the screen. And once you have done that, the app will typically suggest, you have a lot of options, meditate, sleep, move, focus, etc. So once you click today, the app will suggest you a variety of options to select as per the requirement. So based on this, you can pick an option what is being rendered. Let's take an example of, let's say, meditation. When you're looking into the example of meditation, we'll see that you can explore meditation. There are courses and singers, there are timers, SOS, techniques, supports, all these aspects. When you typically click on the courses part, you'll see all the options right in front of your eyes. You can see, courses with respect to self-esteem, acceptance, appreciation, patience, mindful eating, holding anger, balance, basics, recovering, managing anxiety, etc. So, whole lot of options that is available within the Headspace is made available in front of your eyes. Now, when you click if one of them, let's look into something which is useful for meditation. You get, let's say, a typical course and you can start playing that particular course. We also have a variety of courses to learn about focusing and, let's say, relieving stress. So from that you can again take or adapt to one of the courses and can typically use or make use of this. We also see that there are also variety of courses to typically learn from maybe stress release or such other typical topics that you are after. From that, you see that Headspace also offers what we were discussing previously, AI mental health chat assistance named Ebb. Now, Ebb is very helpful because it gives you a real-time understanding of what it is and what you are dealing with or what is your problem. A real-time help with respect to that is obtained. Headspace gives you a certain level of thought process or perspective with respect to what you're facing or what could be done or what are the ways whereby you can get out of some stress if you are It also suggests you as a friend, hopeful, compassionate, and non-judgmental presence is always there. You can always work on the visual identity, UI, etc. with respect to that, and based on that, you can always customize this and get useful insights from the particular platform. Now, this was one of such significant, platforms which actually makes way into the mental health, specifically the mental health problems, since the mental health problems are emerging like anything these days. These platforms are actually very useful. Now let's look into Headspace. Based on the chat history also, it can recommend the courses. Let's say you are already have a particular understanding with respect to some of the matter with respect to the mental health or some problems which are already been discussed. So based on what you have discussed, what is your chat history, based on that, it actually recommends courses, it actually recommends insights which can be very, very useful. Now let's look into a similar platform which is called as Talmundo. Now we have slightly touched upon this, but here I would like to give you again a detailed demo of this. Please note, Talmundo is a cloud-based employee onboarding platform. During onboarding, if you refer to the particular module, you'll see that we have touched upon this. It's an onboarding platform that streamlines the process of integrating new hires into an organization. So it was founded in 2012. Talmundo aims to modernize and simplify onboarding activities with employee experience as the main driver. So if you ask me, the platform, what does it offer? It offers a range of features designed to enhance the onboarding experience. Let's say starting from automated workflows. We are talking about automated workflows. Please note, it eliminates repetitive manual tasks, allowing HR teams to focus on more strategic activities specifically. It also has a provision of engaging content. When you are looking into Talmundo, it provides interactive and personalized content to keep new hires engaged and informed throughout the onboarding process. We also see that there is a typical integration with HR systems. Seamlessly it connects with existing HR systems to ensure a smooth data flow and reduce the administrative overhead. And we also see that there is a real-time progress tracking. It allows the HR teams and managers to specifically monitor the onboarding progress of new hires, ensuring timely completion of the necessary tasks. So, by leveraging these features, if you ask me, Talmundo aids the organizations build a culture of employee engagement, typically decreasing new hire time to productivity and to reduce the recruitment task. Now, very quickly, let's look into the demo of Talmundo. When you talk about Talmundo specifically, it's an onboarding platform which we have already seen by Talentech. When we look into the platform or the dashboard, typically looks like, the new hire will be invited based on the requirement. So with respect to that, you get into the platform, you are welcome to Talmundo, you are welcome to create your account. You can create your account and then log in as per the directions. Once you log in, let's say you have a typical company. Welcome to Company X. You are now officially part of the team. So basic details do get filled up here. So it gives a certain bit of understanding with respect to what the company is all about in the coming stages. So you can fill up with respect to your family situation, partner's first name, last name, children, if any, what are the statistics with respect to that. Then the new hire can actually explore the requirements. Let's say what's in store for you this week. So before your first day, you are just giving a snapshot towards Talmundo and what are the available features with respect to this particular platform. Also, you can explore your office, what your organization will look like from inside. All these aspects, all these details are very well populated here. Then you have, a certain bit of, onboarding practice, like what to wear at work, go for regular haircut, suit up. So basic alignments or basic things which are actually looked for or looked towards your strategy, onboarding factors, aspects that essentially the organization is looking for. Then it also gives a certain level of timeline. Once you are in, 3 weeks in, get to know officers around the world, it gives you a bird's eye view about the organization you're working for, different branches, different strategic business units of that, different people heading these SBUs, and what are the different portfolios these people are carrying. So basically, without having a direct site visit or direct visit to the particular places, you are getting a virtual tour of your organization, if I can use a word. Then you also have an assistant with respect to some typical queries which otherwise very difficult to get answered. Let's say as simple as something like, where can I park my car? So the chat assistants Eva will definitely come up with a solution. There's a parking space for employees just outside our office, but it has limited slots. So we recommend to come to the office by bike. And it also adds on, how have you seen our bike compensation policy yet? So these are some of the prompts which not only resolves your questions, your queries, your problems, your concerns, but also give a positive feedback. What else could be integrated? What else benefits you can actually avail if you are not coming by a car, rather you are using a bike for that instance. So this is something which a normal feedback mechanism, let's say a one-to-one discussion with your co-worker, you might be thinking, this is something which I generally do in my organization also, but I don't go for the sophistication. I can just go to any of my co-worker and ask, but many a times some of the aspects would be essentially hidden. Now this is what is critical with respect to these AI assisted chatbots. They are very prompt, they are very transparent, and we see that it also allows feedback from the new hires regarding their onboarding experience. So over the period of time, like say, what was your experience? That can be detailed here. That will typically give you a lot of inputs, and not only to you but also to the employer, so that can facilitate a creative refurbishment if required, or maybe remodeling of the entire organization if required. So lot of such positive feedbacks can add value to the organization in the later part. So when you are looking into the software also allows feedbacks from new hires, as I have already told. So based on that, you can have specific questions. The employer can ask you, how was your hiring experience compared to other organizations? Let's say you have good amount of experience in some other organization, so that happens to be a test dose where you can actually state what you are or how you felt the onboarding was, and how the company fared in comparison to your previous organization, or vice versa. So this could be some of the inputs that the employer also gets in behalf of you without having any trouble. Otherwise, please note, there's always a social cost which is involved when you are asking a particular person about something, and that is not required here, and that is the benefit of the whole equation. Now when you are looking into these platforms, typically adopting AI in managing company culture is what we started with. We looked into some of the pretty much active scenarios where some AI integration is happening and how it is making your work easy in a real-time aspect. Now let's look into a real-life case study. Now organizations are increasingly leveraging AI to cultivate a strong company culture by enhancing employee engagement, collaboration, and if you ask me, the recruitment process also. So for instance, let's look into Accenture. Accenture utilized these AI driven sentiment analysis tools, which I have touched upon in one of the previous classes, if you recollect, to assess employee feedback. It identified factors like recognition, like flexible work policies that improve the engagement. So if you ask me, this particular initiative led to a 20% increase in the employee satisfaction, and it typically marked a reduction in the attrition rates. So when you look into this particular case of Accenture, you will see that this initiative was useful, no doubt about it, and it has brought in certain level of laurels and significance to the organization. Similarly, another particular case would be of Microsoft. Microsoft integrated the AI features into Microsoft Teams, such as, let's say, the automatic meeting transcription and real-time language translation, fostering seamless communication across the global teams and boosting the productivity by 30%. This is very significant. You look into the numbers and you're looking into the productivity increase by 30%, which is nothing less than massive. So in recruitment, we have similar situations where Hilton adopted the HireViews, which we have discussed in detail, AI-powered video interview platform to evaluate candidates' verbal and non-verbal cues, reducing time to hire by 90% while enhancing the candidate experience and employee retention to a great extent. So what we typically understand is that you are looking into a world where all these examples demonstrate how AI can be transformative force in managing and enhancing company culture. So when you are looking into such platforms, typically you see that there are a lot of such platforms. I've discussed a few, but something I would like to give you a food for thought as part of today's conclusion, and I generally do as part of every single lecture. When you are looking into specifically something as important as AI integration in human resource management, please understand the concept of the social cost. Now, I've already touched upon it. If you have observed that when you have some query in mind, all these things which are getting automated and AI integrated, chatbots, chat assistants, etc., will directly give you responses which is accurate, which is transparent, which is real time, which is 100% true. But the thing is, it comes for free. Now when you are looking to ask a particular, you can act as a devil's advocate and ask me, let's say, I can do the same task with my friend who is working there for some time. He is part of the organization. He knows the organization like the back of his hand. Why can't I go to him and ask him? Or what are the requirements? Let's say as simple as a question like, where is the parking space? I can go and ask him. Why should I go all the way, use the company's resources, the AI platforms, the fancy stuff? But then if you ask that person, there's a social cost involved, and many a time we are not aware of that. We seldom recognize that. So this is what AI prevents you from. This is what the AI integration with respect to human resource management domain makes the whole system more transparent, makes the whole system more efficient, and makes the whole system more reachable and inclusive, which is not the case with the normal traditional system. Thank you for listening to me patiently. We'll see you with some other topic in the next class. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.